Hi, I'm Stacy Brewster. Virginia Woolf once wrote, "One cannot think well, love well, sleep well, unless one has dined well." I tend to agree with her sentiment. So today I'm going to be discussing the cuisine of my ancestral homeland, Germany. My grandparents were children of German immigrants, so I grew up eating a lot of German dishes. Food is a big part of the culture in Germany, and they're known for their really hearty foods, meats, potatoes, noodles, that kind of thing, as well as some pastries and cakes, and of course, the beverages. So today I'm going to talk about those hearty dishes, and then I'm going to talk about some of those sweet German treats, and lastly, we will discuss the beverages. Now, German cuisine is full of hearty foods, meats, cheeses, breads, root vegetables, noodles. But according to GermanFoodGuide.com, this evolved because of the northern climate. Now, in the pre-industrial society in Germany, it required a higher caloric intake because most of the people were farmers or working with lumber, things like that. So they needed a heavier food to help them to sustain energy. The climate in Germany is also supportive of what we would consider a winter garden. Things like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, asparagus, apples, things that we would typically harvest in the fall. So now that we've looked at some of the hearty foods, let's talk about the sweet treats. That's my favorite. Now, Germany has something akin to England's tea time, but rather than having tea and crumpets, the German version has cake and coffee. Some of the cakes you may have heard of are the German chocolate, of course, um, Black Forest with the cherries, but Germany is also known for its pastries and torts and things. Now, my favorite is a spicy gingerbread cookie called Lebkuchen. Now, I like it because I think the story is interesting, as well as being delicious. Um, it was popularized by monks in Nuremberg hundreds and hundreds of years ago. This was a time when paper was not readily available, and most peasants couldn't read anyway. So the monks at Nuremberg would press this honey dough into these wooden molds, and they would be molds with scenes of the Nativity or Christ on the cross, and they would hand these out at the Christmas and Easter services for the church. And people couldn't read, but they could follow along by looking at the pictures in these cookies. And in addition to being delicious, it was also kind of catechism for the illiterate, and I think that's fascinating. Now, finally, we have to talk about Germany's beverages. Um, their favorite daytime beverages, like America, tea and coffee. Tea, more popular in the north, but coffee is the beverage of choice in the south. Germany is also known for its wines. There are 13 different wine regions. They produce a variety of different wines, table wines, estate wines, ice wines, um, all sorts of varieties. And of course, we have to talk about beer. That's the thing Germany is known for doing the best. Germany is home to over 1,200 breweries. They make all sorts of Germany is home to over 1,200 breweries. They make all sorts of pilsners, bocks, ales, hefeweizens. What you may not know is that all of the lagers made in Germany are subject to the German beer purity law. That law has been in place since 1516. Basically, it states that the only ingredients allowed in a German lager are barley malt, hops, yeast, and water. And it's meant to keep the integrity of German beer. So now that we have discussed Germany's hearty fare, sweet treats, and of course the beverages, you can see what a big part of German culture cuisine is. So to explore the delicious world of German cuisine, look for restaurants or beer gardens in your area. Thank you for your time.